Hello everybody, this is Professor Chandana Goswami from Tezpur University, and today we will discuss about stress management. Are you feeling stressed out? Let's see how you can manage stress and be cool about it. Let's get acquainted with stress. What is stressful for you may not be stressful for me. We all have different coping abilities. We all experience stress, and the sooner we learn to handle it, the better. A little bit of stress is good for us. It is known as eustress. Why is it good? Because it releases dopamine, adrenaline, and cortisol hormones. And these hormones place us in the fight or flight mode. So if we are in the fight mode, it means that we will tackle the stress head on and resolve the issue. Or else we decide to run away from it. So that is known as the flight mode. Bad stress, which is known as distress, can cause an overdose of release of dopamine, adrenaline, and cortisol hormones that will directly or indirectly affect all neurotransmitters and thus throw out our body system out of balance, leading to multiple health problems. How we respond to stress is therefore an individual choice. It depends on how we perceive the situation. Do we perceive it as threatening or non-threatening? Then our level of experience in handling stress, emotional resilience, and the support system that we have. Stress can come from external sources as well as from within ourselves. It can occur not only due to unhappy situations like loss of a family member, loss of employment, or facing harassment, etc., but also from happy situations like getting married, having a baby, getting promoted, or having a new job. So stress is dependent on personality. So let us understand the three common types of personalities that we talk of, type A, B, and C. Now these type A individuals, they tend to be very competitive and self-critical. They experience a constant sense of urgency and tend to be easily aroused to anger or hostility, which they may or may not express overtly. Then type B. They tend to be more tolerant of others, are more relaxed than type A individuals, more reflective, experience lower levels of anxiety, and display a higher level of imagination and creativity. Then you have the third type, type C. These people have difficulty in expressing emotions and tend to suppress emotions, especially the negative ones such as anger. This means that such individuals also display pathological niceness. That means they have to be nice to everybody. It's a compulsion. Conflict avoidance. They will never ever try to get into any conflict. High social desirability. They have this feeling of, to be liked by everybody. And over compliance, and they will also display patience. Of these three types, type A is more prone to stress, and this has been proved by research. The type A personality behavior makes them more prone to stress-related illness such as coronary heart disease, raised blood pressure, etc. Such people are more likely to have their fight or flight response set off by things in their environment. As a result, they are more likely to have the stress hormones present, which over a long period of time leads to a range of stress-related illness. When we are experiencing stress, we display different kinds of symptoms: emotional symptoms, physical symptoms, cognitive symptoms, behavioral symptoms. Let's understand them. Emotional symptoms like mood swings, feeling loss of control or need to take control, difficulty in relaxing and quieting the mind. This mind is chattering all the time. Then low self-esteem and feeling depressed, and a tendency to avoid others. You can also display physical symptoms like low energy, headaches, upset stomach, body aches, chest pain, insomnia, loss of sexual desire, etc. Cognitive symptoms like constant worry, forgetfulness and disorganization, inability to focus, poor judgment, or even being pessimistic. We also display behavioral symptoms like changes in appetite, procrastinating and avoiding responsibilities, increased use of alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes, and exhibiting nervous behaviors. Stress can cause or influence the course of many medical conditions, including psychological conditions such as depression and anxiety. Medical problems can include poor healing, irritable bowel syndrome, high blood pressure, poorly controlled diabetes, and many other conditions. Hence, we need to understand what causes stress and how one can keep a control on how one reacts to stressful situations. While personality-based studies have been done in the context of stress, I would like to focus on expectations and interpersonal relations as a cause of stress. Expectations do lead to stress. Many a times we set unrealistic or overambitious targets for ourselves. This is expectation from self. The effort required in achieving it drains our energy and leads to a feeling of being inadequate and builds up stress levels. Over expectation from others in terms of targets or achievements or supporting us, they are also a cause of stress. It is desirable to have some expectation from others as people try to live up to your expectations. This is referred to as Pygmalion effect. It is normal to expect support, but it should not be that we become over-dependent and stop fending for ourselves. When the support system does not live up to our expectations, we get stressed. We have to adopt the middle path, where we allow our self-expectation to fuel our drive and yet be realistic that a support system has to be created. This approach will keep stress under control. Stress is also caused by others' expectations from us vis-a-vis our ability. For the stress that is created by other people's expectation from us, we need to insulate ourselves from such stressful expectation. Assess your capacity and understand how much you can achieve. Most women are torn between the different roles they have to play: employee, wife, mother, daughter, daughter-in-law, etc. Trying to be perfect in each role is definitely a recipe for stress. A choice has to be made as to which role is a priority at the moment. Just because we are assigning low priority to a particular role for a moment or time frame, we are not to feel guilty and stressed up. Like I mentioned earlier, we need to create a support system. And this cannot be built overnight. It takes years for the support system to be effective. We need clarity in our own mind as to what kind of support we need from our ecosystem to facilitate our efficiency. Even the Bible says, ask and you shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall open. Therefore, talk to people, knock at doors, ask for help, and you may find or you will be able to create the necessary support system. Interpersonal relations also are a cause of stress. Our interpersonal needs affect our communication and behavior. And the interpersonal needs arises from need for inclusion, which is related to social interaction and association, need for control, that is associated with trying to lead and influence others as well as be led and influenced by others, and the third need, that is need for affection, which is related to establishing relationships. Each of these three needs have two dimensions each. We call them expressed and wanted. Expressed needs refer to what we demonstrate or exhibit towards others, while wanted needs refer to what we want others to exhibit towards us. When our expressed score is more than the wanted, it means that we take initiative in the three interpersonal needs. If the wanted score is more than expressed, it means that we expect others to take the initiative. Sometimes there is a mismatch and then it leads to stress. Stress is caused when, say, person X's wanted score is dominant and person Y also has the same. So if wanted is dominant, it means we want the other people to take initiative. We don't take initiative. And in this case, both the parties are waiting for the other to take initiative. If this does not happen, which will most certainly not, both X and Y will feel let down and disappointed. Another scene would be that for person X, both the expressed and wanted scores are low. So X will neither initiate nor like others to initiate. And suppose person Y has high scores both in expressed and wanted, Y will take initiative as well as expect others to take initiative. Can you see the mismatch in these two persons, X and Y? Any interaction between these two persons will not really be fruitful and will be stressful. So how do you manage stress? Managing stress is all about taking charge of your thoughts, your emotions, your schedule, your environment, and the way you deal with problems. You can see the key word is taking charge. You are not supposed to hand over charge of your thoughts and emotions to other people. You must take control over your thoughts, emotions, and the way you deal with problems. So stress management starts with identifying the source of stress in your life. Sometimes it is your procrastination rather than the actual job demands that leads to deadline stress. And under these circumstances, it is very easy to adopt unhealthy coping strategies like smoking, drinking, drug abuse, overeating, sleeping too much, or even worse, which is taking out your stress on others through verbal and physical abuse. Once you have identified the source of stress, you have 4 strategies. Avoid, alter, adapt, accept. If you wish to avoid the stressor, we need to learn to say no to certain requests. We need to limit time with people who stress us and prioritize our roles and responsibilities. In case you cannot avoid the stressor, we need to focus on how to alter it. So you need to express ourselves clearly, state our expectation in a courteous manner, make changes from our end, and also request the same from the other party, and finally focus on managing time properly. With these 2 strategies, that is avoid and alter, we are trying to change the situation or context so that our stress levels reduce. So the next 2 strategies are adapt or accept. You can adapt to stressful situations and regain your sense of control by changing your expectations and attitude. At times it is necessary to let go of perfectionism and settle for a reasonable standard. Counting our blessings will also enable us to focus on the positive things in our life instead of focusing on what we do not have, and that is another cause of stress. So this includes focusing on our positive qualities and strengths. Then there are stressful situations where the above mentioned strategies of avoid, alter, and adapt will not work. There are certain situations which you cannot predict, avoid, or change, like death of a family member, global recession, pandemic, etc. These are beyond our control, and while acceptance is difficult, it is the only way out. So let's talk about stress management techniques. What I am going to mention out here is available all across the internet, and you will find these repeatedly coming up. So the first technique would be regarding physical fitness. Remember, a sound mind in a sound body. Physical activity and adequate sleep does wonders. So therefore, exercise regularly. Your body can fight stress better when it is fit. Eat healthy, well-balanced meals. Get enough rest and sleep. Your body needs time to recover from stressful events. Don't rely on alcohol, drugs, or compulsive behaviors to reduce stress. Get a massage, work in the garden, or play with your pet. So these are some of the things that you can do for physical fitness. The second one is what I call me time. We need to have this exclusive time for self. We need time to introspect, think for the future, and also motivate ourselves to fulfill our needs. This pep talk for ourselves is called self-fulfilling prophecy, and nurturing ourselves is a necessity. So how do we go about doing it? Learn to manage your time more effectively. Set limits appropriately and learn to say no to requests that would create excessive stress in your life. Make time for hobbies, interests, and relaxation. Seek out social support. Spend enough time with those you enjoy. Take a vacation. Learn and practice relaxation techniques, meditation, yoga, tai chi, whatever. And finally, the third strategy is that of mental fitness. Keep a positive attitude. Accept that there are events that you cannot control. Be assertive instead of aggressive. Assert your feelings, opinions, or beliefs instead of becoming angry, defensive, or passive. Seek treatment with a psychologist or other mental health professional trained in stress management or biofeedback techniques to learn healthy ways of dealing with stress in your life. And finally, the Serenity Prayer that will help you maintain your sanity and balance. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you very much. I hope this video will help you to analyze your stressful situations and also come up with solutions to how to manage stress. Thank you.